guys, it's your girl Choreo here. In this video, we're using stretch out straps. Now those can be found easily on Amazon or any of your favorite online shopping for fitness gears, of course. Now, quite simply, I'm going to be doing 3 different stretches of the hip. You can actually do these movements lying down in your bed, on the sofa, on the floor, wherever you are comfortable. Make sure that the loop, the strap is hitched onto the doorstop, so this actually comes with the stretch out band. All right, and I will link below the particular stretch out strap that I bought so that you will get that door stopper with it as well. And you just loop the foot and you just pull it up just like that. And when you reach to the point where you can't pull anymore, relax and breathe into those tight areas. For me, those were definitely my hamstrings on this very day, secondary to just long standing in the hospital. So if you're a person who does lots of standing, even lots of sitting, if you drive a lot, if you sit a lot around a computer, your hamstrings are bound to get tight. So these are excellent stretches for that. And I want you to breathe deeply, inhale and exhale, and just feel those muscles relaxing. Now I'm shifting to the opposite side. I want you to allow the hips to open into turn out positions. If you notice my standing leg, in this video, it's my left foot that is my standing leg. It's turned out, and I want you to not only turn out from the ankle, but through the knees and through the hip joint. Very important. Keep that left hip joint or the standing leg hip joint grounded, so don't allow it to flip up when the opposite leg lifts up. So for example, my left hip, I'm keeping it lowered as much as possible without allowing it to tilt upwards with the right leg. Very important in terms of getting that external rotation into the hips and allowing the groin area to have a nice symmetrical stretch. One of the things that I'm also doing with this stretch is allowing my leg to remain open, anchoring the leg open, because it tends to swing forward with my arm. So you could try that for yourself if that works. It may not be as difficult if you're actually lying down on the floor doing this. You're back against the floor and you're just bringing the stretch out band upward like that. As high as you can take it, of course. That might be 30 degrees upward for you. It might be 90 degrees upward. Wherever it is that you can bring it to, do not force yourself into a stretch, because the body's natural reaction to a forced stretch is to clap back, right? So gentle stretching, deep breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And I'm repeating the same side movement or abduction, external rotation of the hip. The excellent thing about the stretch out band, especially if you have that doorstop that I've put the strap through, is that it's very easy to just slip the band down, so it moves very easily, because it's a silver metallic circle or ring that the strap goes through, and so the fibers of the strap are very smooth, so it really makes for everything being very comfortable. If you are an absolute beginner and you're doing this on the floor, remember to do deep breathing. Do not try to force the leg beyond where you can take it. I said that before, I can't emphasize that enough. And if you are advanced and you feel like you need to stretch a little bit longer, feel free to pause the video and do your thing. The next movement I'm going to be going into is sort of like a scorpion position that is done in yoga. Now, the foot just needs to turn facing the door. You want to ensure that you have a strong hold on the band. And you just want to Bring the torso forward. Allow yourself to naturally move into this position. Do not force yourself into it. What I'm also going to be doing is bringing my chest towards the door only when it is that I'm comfortable. I'm going to inch closer to the door and bring my chest down. So not only am I getting a hip flexor stretch, and the hip flexors are those groups of muscles, the iliopsoas and the quadriceps muscles at the front of thigh. So I'm getting an excellent stretch. If you are somebody who sits a lot, I can't stress that enough. If you sit a lot at work, around the computer, on your phone, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're in school, whatever it is that your activities of daily living look like, a hip flexor stretch like this would be great for you. And of course, if you're lying down on the floor, you could have one leg extended like that, and you just lift the stretching leg, right? So it's pretty easy to get these done on the floor, right? Some persons are able to carry the foot all the way down to the head. If that's you, sister, you go ahead. That's one of my goals. Deep inhale, deep exhale. There goes my hat. Alright, so I am going to repeat the exercise, moving the leg upwards. Ensure that your footing is secure. The standing leg, the footing must be secure. If you are on a soft surface, try to go for a more solid surface, be it a floor, an exercise mat, whatever it is. Inhaling and exhaling, and now I'm pressing my chest into the wall again. And the good thing is that the wall provides a bit of a force so that I'm increasing the stretch in my back as well, increasing the mobility. So I'm getting some mobilization in my spine as well. If you're having muscle cramping, if you have any severe pain, you need to back off of this movement right away. You don't want to play with your spine. You don't want to play guessing games. If you're having pain, you stop right away. And releasing ever so slowly, ever so gently. I was singing gospel music. I was playing gospel music. I was feeling the spirits. All right, so I'm repeating the exercise on the opposite leg. Hamstring stretch going right upwards. Inhaling and exhaling. So these straps tend to get twisted up quite easily if you're not careful. So doing some untwisting so that it doesn't bunch up at the ring. Pulling it up right to where it is that you can manage, holding it there. And we're going to lower the leg now. Be very gentle with all movements of the body, particularly when you're doing stretches as intense as this. You want to allow the body to gently relieve itself. Going back up. If you need to take a longer break, you can go ahead and take a long break. Remember, the more you breathe deeply, you want to visualize taking the breath from the top of the head right down to the tips of the toes. Oxygen is an excellent nutrient for tissue lengthening. So the muscles become lengthened with more breathing. So the more you breathe is the more you're able to relax, the more you're able to feel the tissues extending. So you want to really focus on the breath, center yourself, and relax all parts of your body while you're doing these exercises. And releasing slowly. We are going to repeat the abduction, external rotation exercise of the leg. Stabilize the standing leg. And if you notice, there truly is not quite a bit of modification in terms of the loop around the foot. You just turn and the loop will naturally readjust itself. Some persons might feel a bit sensitive from the fabric of the loop. It may be a little bit abrasive to some persons. You can always feel free to wear socks. This particular band, as I said, I'm gonna link it below. It's made of very soft fabric. I really like it. I actually don't even carry this one outside. I have two of them. One is plastic, one is cloth. So this is the cloth one. I use this one in my bed, all over. I love it so much. It's so soft. And again, the standing leg, drop the hip. Don't allow the hip to hike up. So if you notice, there's a difference in the height of my hips. The left hip is up while the right hip is remaining down. And you have to make a conscious effort to keep that right hip down. And again, I am anchoring or holding my leg outwards in the external rotation with my arm. Otherwise, it would swing forward. Going for our second round. And releasing the leg down. Oops, that was kind of quick. Be gentle with yourself, please. And I'm going to go for those scorpion lifts. Now, my left foot, unfortunately, I have bruising. And so this particular position was a little bit harsh on the front of foot, but by the time I got into the position, it was too late because the video is already recording, so I couldn't put on my socks. So if you see me doing a little bit of an adjustment and this side looks a little bit awkward, yeah, just make sure you modify, make sure you correct your own posture. You can go back to my opposite side and see what that looked like. It's not too much of a difference actually. So I'm pulling forward, keeping the chest glued to the wall in front of me, and there I go because I have an injury at the front of my foot, and that strap was digging into that injury. So and we're going back upwards, strapping that leg in, deep inhale, opening the back, opening the chest, inhaling and exhaling, listening to the body. If there's any pain, as usual, you want to back off of the movement. We have another scorpion position to get done. Remember, if you need a longer time, you can pause the video and take all the time that you need. And we're lowering the leg gently. So now I am finished with the stretch out band, and I'm just gonna do a few movements to enjoy that new openness, moving the hips in an anterior and posterior pelvic tilt, as well as a rotation both left and right. You can do these, you can do them as many times as you want. From here, I'm gonna maintain a tilted forward anterior pelvic tilt. So tilt the tailbone forward, stick the butt back, press the lower back into the thighs, and breathe into this exaggerated downward facing dog. Deep inhale and exhale. From here, I'm going to do a counter rotation stretch, opening the chest up to the ceiling, the skies, whatever is above you. And I'm doing an overstretch here. I'm going to repeat to the opposite side. From here, I'm going to do an overstretch, opening a little bit farther than I typically do, focusing on that nice counter rotation stretch, rotating or rolling the body up vertebrae by vertebrae. Guys, I do hope you enjoyed this. I hope you feel more open in the hips. See you next week.